Jamie Stone. Thank you for viewing Find Your Approach Golf. Today I want to talk about the right elbow in the golf swing. Now, a lot of times we recognize in the golf swing, we think we have an understanding what the right elbow needs to do. But for us to have a vision of what it needs to do is one thing. For us to be able to recognize and identify what it needs to do is another thing. Meaning, when I address the ball here and I take the club away, notice the elbow. Elbow points directly down to the ground like it's supposed to, and my club sets here, which I guess that would be 90 degrees, we'll say. But the elbow's pointing down and it's not way back here. This is where we get stuck and the elbow gets left behind. Now, what I see a lot of times is there's a couple different things that leads to the elbow straightening out way before impact. One of those is, I set up to the ball, I go to take the club away, and from here, I'm gonna lean with my upper body. I'm gonna lean forward, and when I lean forward, now notice where the elbow's pointing. It's pointing back here. It's no longer pointing down. We've got to keep the elbow pointing down to the ground at all times. Now, something to keep in mind on the downswing is if I shift with my upper body and rock out here, my elbow is going to point away. Okay? If I come in way too steep, now look at my elbow, it's pointing back behind me. If I try to get overpowering with my right hand and I don't pull the club on that angle, now watch the elbow, it's going to point back here. So, if the elbow's not pointing to the ground, we've either leaned forward, came out of our spine angle, too steep, or we've came over the top. Now, on the way down, I want you to make sure that elbow gets in front of the hip, right here. That elbow is going to get in front of the hip. When it gets in front of the hip, that allows everything to clear and it leaves us plenty of room to hit the golf ball. Now the elbow straightens out. My hands are slightly ahead, obviously at impact. And from here, I'm going to go on through the ball. So, what it would look like is, I want you to set up to the golf ball, come here, take it away, check your position. Okay, elbow's pointing down, it's about in line with my pocket, right here. I don't want it back here, I want it right here. Now from here, the move we have to get down is, from this position, getting that elbow in front of our hip. So that would just be there. There, in front of our hip. I want you to do that some just to gain a feel, if nothing else. Once you gain that feel, then start it off taking some little swings. That would look like this. I'm just going to set up to the ball, come in, there. The main thing this is doing is getting the club back out in front of you. It's keeping that elbow pointed at the ground, which is keeping this club on plane on the way down. We're not casting the club, flipping it early. We're maintaining all the way through impact. And we're pulling the club on that angle right there and not that angle. So it's eliminating reverse pivot, coming in too steep and over the top. Now, the role of the right arm is that's our power arm. This is where we gain our power. You always hear the hammering like feel, you hear people say at impact, and all they're describing is that feel. But we have to pull it on that angle, right there, as if you were skipping a rock or whatever. But it's got to be on that angle. not there or there. The left arm is what controls the club face. So that's there, that's what squares the left arm. So we got to know the rolls there, and we got to pull it on the proper angle. But the way we identify is, like I said, look where the elbow is pointing. So, take it away. Elbow's pointing down. It's actually right here, just in front of my pocket. Good position. From here, it's going to go back in front of the hip, through the ball. So, one more little swing. I'm here, and go. I hope this little tip helps you out, and I hope you remember, elbow always points to the ground. That leads to play better golf.